This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome to Business Line. I'm Pranav Bakshi. A look now at some of the top business stories this week. One of India's most valuable listed companies, Reliance Industries, is already sitting on one of the biggest private gas discoveries in India, but it continues to explore opportunities abroad, this time in faraway Latin America. The company is eyeing a stake in two of the biggest refineries in Colombia.
Reliance Industries has made its mark on the global gas scene with the discoveries in the KG Basin. The company also runs the biggest refinery in a single location, and now it wants to repeat its success story in Latin America. The Colombian government has already invited Reliance Industries for participating in the expansion of two refineries in Cartagena and Barranca. And NDTV has learned that RIL may participate in doubling the capacity of Cartagena refinery to 160,000 barrels a day, whereas the capacity of Barranca refinery will be expanded to 3 lakhs barrels per day. But RIL is likely to face stiff competition from Venezuela's PDV and Brazil's Petrobras in the race to pick up 51% stake in the JV with Ecopetrol.
Well, Reliance is in Colombia already, so they know well what's happening, and Colombia, as you well said, is doubling the refining capacity both in Barranca and in Cartagena, our largest refineries in the country. Of course, we've made the promotion to have more participants in the bid, because the more competition, the better for the project, right? But of course, we have invited them.
With a war chest of around 20,000 crore rupees, investment of 12 to 13,000 crore rupees in the Colombian refineries is hardly a worry for Reliance Industries, especially when this investment will give access to Latin American markets along with the Caribbean islands. In New Delhi, Rajkumar Sahu, NDTV Profit.
One of the best airports in the country is the one in Hyderabad, but it's not number one when it comes to growth and revenues, having let Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore and Chennai airports take over instead. It's now banking on the increase in passenger traffic and a sharp hike in user development fee to be approved by the government for its bottom line to look better.
Hyderabad's Rajiv Gandhi International Airport will manage to break even only in 2020 and not in 2014, as was envisaged when the airport opened in March last year. The slowdown in the air traffic has severely dented the revenue projections of what is arguably India's best airport.
If there was no slowdown, we would have hit about 9 million passengers. As opposed to that, actually because of the slow growth, we hit 6.4 million last year. This year we are expecting about the same or slightly better.
The airport's application to hike the user development fee is pending with the airport's Economic Regulatory Authority since August. The last couple of months, however, have brought some cheer. This October saw a 17% growth in passenger volume compared to October 2008. In Hyderabad, T.S. Sudhir, NDTV.
And now a look at the market updates.
Market regulator SEBI tweaked the regulations governing follow-on public offers. It allowed companies with a market capitalization of 5,000 crores, earlier 10,000 crores, to make such offers. It also sought to do away with the upper limit on pricing of such offers, turning them into pure auctions where institutions can bid any price they like above a minimum reserve price. Retail investors will bag allotments at the minimum price. SEBI also made it mandatory for listed companies to disclose their balance sheets along with their profit and loss accounts every 6 months. UTI Mutual Fund clinched a long-awaited deal to sell a 26% stake to US-based investment management giant T. Rowe Price. 4 public sector institutions sold 6.5% each in the fund house to net 650 crores. The Committee of State Finance Ministers released a discussion paper on the proposed goods and services tax, which said that alcoholic beverages would be kept out of the purview of this unified tax, allowing states power to tax such beverages. The index of industrial production numbers came in higher than expected and showed a 9.1% growth in September 2009. Manufacturing sectors managed a 9.3% growth over last year. Consumer durables were among the strongest sector constituents, growing by 22% for September. The government announced a roadmap for divestment of unlisted profit-making PSUs, identifying NTPC, REC and Sutlej Jal Vidyut Nigam for share sales this year. The stock markets managed to recoup some of the losses made last week, with the BSE Sensex closing the week at 16,848 levels, 4.3% higher than last week's close.
Stay tuned to Business Line. Coming up, a discussion on IPOs.